do? What's happening? We are back at it again with my ear to the streets. Today, we start our cryptocurrency series. And unless you've been under a rock, I'm sure you've heard of cryptocurrency at this point, because everybody and they damn mama talking about it. Whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, whatever coin, it's more coins than Wayne siblings. So I figured it was time we chop it up about it. And so today I want to talk about what Bitcoin is, the problem it's trying to solve, and how it works. Let's get to it. Cryptocurrency just means digital money. And even though cryptocurrency is relatively new, people have been trying to create digital money since the 90s. The problem is they've been about just as successful as this nigga.
You ain't hit him yet? They do that shit, man. Let's go. Come on.
How the fuck you miss a whole 100 shots?
Really understand why Bitcoin was so groundbreaking and why it caught on so much, you have to understand the fundamental problem it was trying to solve. And not only that, the problem that it uncovered. See, the first problem is what I like to refer to as the middleman problem. Right now, essentially all online payments either have to go through a bank or a credit card company. And you can believe that they're not doing this for free. Those processing fees add up like Whole Foods groceries. And even though there was earlier digital cash that could, solve the middleman problem, there was one key thing that they couldn't solve. And that's the double spending problem. See, double spending isn't quite an issue when it comes to cash because a bill, it can't be in two places at once and spent twice. And double spending isn't quite an issue when it comes to credit cards, online payments, because now when you go to buy something, the store essentially asks the bank or the credit card companies if you have the money, and they either say, yeah, she good for it, or nah, he ain't even got it. And that is going to determine whether you get what you tried to buy, or you got to come up with an excuse like you visited from out of town and you forgot to tell your bank that you was traveling. All the real ones have been there before. Trust me. Digital money is different though. Put all the technical bullshit aside, and digital money is basically just a file that's represented by a string of numbers and letters. That means it's easy to make an exact copy, and that is a big, big problem. Just imagine if you could put a $100 bill into a copier and make as many copies as you wanted to. At some point, the currency becomes not valuable at all. But thanks to Bitcoin and Satoshi, who I must applaud for remaining anonymous, because honestly, if it was me who created Bitcoin, I'd had the biggest billboard in Times Square of me in a silk Versace robe and a note that just said, "You're welcome." But that's neither here nor there though. Let me get back to the topic. So, yeah, Bitcoin was so groundbreaking because it was the first cryptocurrency or digital cash to solve both of these problems. Took out the middleman, and it eliminated double spending by using what's called a blockchain. To really explain how blockchain works, let's use one of my favorite analogies. The club. See the people in line waiting in the club? Those are transactions. The actual club, that's the blockchain. And the bouncers, they're miners. Let's say every 10 minutes the bouncer calls up a group of people from the line, checks their ID to verify they're over 21, and then lets them in the club. That's basically how Bitcoin and the blockchain works. See, miners, they basically take transactions, verify that they're legit, and then add them to the blockchain. The blockchain is basically just a record of any Bitcoin transaction that's ever happened. Literally. It doesn't matter how small, it doesn't matter when, it doesn't matter from who. If any Bitcoin transaction has ever happened, it's on the blockchain. And that's a key point, because instead of your bank or your credit card company having to update your individual transactions, anytime anybody anywhere makes a Bitcoin transactions, every single person's records are updated at the same time. So let's suppose you somehow manage to duplicate your Bitcoin. You still won't be able to spend it. And let me show you how. Let's suppose, you spend the first Bitcoin. Once that happens, everybody's records everywhere is going to show that you spent it. So now when you go to spend a duplicate Bitcoin, it won't go through because the blockchain has already shown that it's been spent. It's kind of like the bouncer catching your goofy ass with a fake ID and sending you home. And that's what makes Bitcoin decentralized. There's no one person, company, or government that controls it. It's a group effort from everybody around the world. And I wanted to start off this series talking about the problems it's trying to solve and how it works, because I think that's fundamental to getting the understanding about the whole cryptocurrency as a whole. So buckle up. It's finna be a long ride. See y'all next time.